In today's video, I want to show you why waiting until age 65 to retire might be the biggest mistake you ever make, and how retiring before 60 could actually be the smartest move. So a few years ago, I sat across from a couple, John and Linda, and they did everything right. They saved diligently, waited patiently, allowed compound interest to work in their favor, and then they retired on schedule at age 65. But instead of celebrating freedom, they were grappling with a diagnosis, missed travel plans, and time that they could never reclaim. I'm Braden Clark. I'm a certified financial planner and certified private wealth advisor. And after helping hundreds of high-performing professionals prepare for retirement, one emotion keeps showing up: regret. But not from those that retire too early. It's always from those that waited too long. So in this video, we're going to challenge the default retirement age of 65. You'll discover the most common myths or traps that keep people working longer than they need to. We'll also go over why retiring before 60 might not just be possible, but optimal. And then finally, how to know if you're closer to retirement than you think. So John and Linda thought that they were doing it right, but their story is much more common than you'd think, and it points to a much deeper problem. The issue? Society tells you that 65 is the finish line, but it's not. It's a number built on outdated structures: Medicare, Social Security, tradition from earlier generations. And delaying your retirement might feel safer, but for many, it's costing them their best years. And the cost is more than just financial. It's emotional, psychological, and even physical. Let's be clear, no one on their deathbed says, "I wish I worked more." But many do say, "I wish I had more time with family," or "I wish I traveled more while I was the healthiest," or worse, "I wish I could still travel." So the longer that you wait, the more you risk missing your best years, your healthiest years. You're not trading time for money. You're trading it for moments, memories, and even milestones. And it's not just anecdotal. So the Center for Retirement Research found that the quality of life in retirement is more heavily influenced by having a sense of purpose, by health, and meaningful relationships than by purely financial metrics. Their findings show that retirees who prioritize lifestyle satisfaction tend to fare better emotionally, even if their financial resources are pretty modest. So essentially, it's not the size of your nest egg, it's how you live your life with it that counts. So let's explore the real reasons or traps that keep people anchored to a job longer than they need to be. And these fall into three categories when people delay retirement unnecessarily, typically past the age of 60. The first one is emotional barriers. And one example is the one more year trap. Just one more year and I'll feel safer. But it rarely stops at 1 year. That extra year becomes 2, then 5, maybe even 10, and opportunities fade. And soon people are working without joy just for a slightly bigger paycheck. Take Alan. He's a 62-year-old executive client of mine. And for 3 straight years, he repeated that exact same line. Each year, a new promotion or project or even equity compensation that convinced him to stay. And when he finally retired at 66, his knees had deteriorated. And that Swiss mountain trek that he had dreamt of for over a decade, well, it was no longer physically possible. The worst part? Those 4 extra years of work added just $380 per month to his retirement income. Might sound okay, but trading life-changing experiences for what amounts to a weekly dinner out wasn't the payoff that he had expected. Another emotional barrier is around the identity gap. High achievers often tie their self-worth to their careers. I feel this myself. I see this often with engineers, executives, and even business owners. Letting go feels like losing your sense of purpose. But the truth is, retirement isn't the end of your identity. It's the chance to redefine it. And I'll discuss this a little bit more later on. Now, the second trap is the financial myths trap. And one of the financial myths is the safety illusion. I often hear, if I just keep earning more, I'll feel more secure. But real security doesn't come from a paycheck. It comes from a plan. A real strategy replaces a salary when it's done right and with intention, which then also leads to the X million-dollar myth. Many believe that they must hit an arbitrary number like 2 million or 3 million before they can retire. But the truth is, enough is a better goal than maximum. Clarity beats accumulation. In other words, we've seen clients with $500,000 retire comfortably and live the life that they've dreamt of in retirement. And then others with $4 million feel stuck. Then there's the health insurance paralysis, and this one is quite common. Many people delay retirement because they're unsure of how to handle health costs before Medicare. They believe those health insurance costs are so high before Medicare kicks in that they don't even bother to weigh those numbers. And then they just delay retirement to age 65. That's why we have a team of trusted insurance agents that we connect our clients with before they reach Medicare age. They help them design a customized coverage plan tailored specifically for them and their needs. And then once we have those plans, we then integrate them directly into their overall retirement strategy. And while healthcare costs are certainly often higher than what you're used to paying through an employer, more often than not, clients realize that they can still retire much earlier than they thought, even with those added expenses. Which brings me to the final common trap. And the third one is around life and health cost. And one example is the health reality gap. Your health won't stay predictable. According to a study published in BMC Geriatrics, early retirees enjoyed significantly better outcomes, both physically and emotionally. The study showed a reduction in stress-related illnesses and an increase in cognitive well-being for those that stepped away from work earlier. So it's not just about feeling better, it's also about living longer and more vibrantly, something that unfortunately Alan wasn't able to fully do. And those benefits are backed by even further research. A social science and medicine article found that retiring earlier reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease. It gives your body time to heal, lowers cortisol levels, and boosts quality of life. Simply put, retirement isn't just a financial decision. It's also a health decision, which often gets overlooked when thinking about retirement planning. Then there's the time window trap. Your 60s are a once-in-a-lifetime window. Travel, adventure, grandkids, these are things that are best enjoyed when your health and energy are high, which typically does happen in your 50s and 60s rather than your 70s and 80s. Waiting too long can quietly close that window forever. And think about it this way, your kids and grandkids, they'll remember the memories with you more than an inherited IRA balance. So it's not about abandoning work. It's about not missing your best years of life where you can enjoy what you've worked so hard to build in a truly meaningful way. Now, if any of these traps feel familiar, don't leave your timing to guesswork. You can click the link in the description to complete a short retirement readiness questionnaire. We'll then schedule a time to go over your situation further through a complimentary discovery call. We use our profit process to help create a clear, personalized roadmap for your retirement. So, what does it look like to retire earlier with confidence and without regret? It comes down to what I call the maximize your retirement framework, and it blends three elements. The first is your peak health years. Second is financial sufficiency, and the third is emotional readiness. Now, let's break it down into 6 strategic steps. Step 1 is health timeline assessment. We evaluate your family history, your energy levels, and your lifestyle to gauge how many more vibrant years you may realistically have ahead. Are you healthy? What about your family history of health? Cancer in the family, Alzheimer's? Is long-term care likely for you or your spouse? These are just a few crucial questions to gain a better understanding of your overall health now and in the future. So by doing that, we can determine how long we need your money to last and for certain types of healthcare cost along the way. Step 2 is to gain financial clarity for you. Forget the $2 million rule or a percentage income replacement rule of thumb. We define what you want your lifestyle to look like and assess whether your income sources and savings can comfortably support that. The reality is you may be closer than you think. Step 3 is life to value prioritization. Let's get to the heart of it, your why. What truly lights you up? Is it travel, family time, service, lifelong learning? We've had clients retire early to road trip across the country, attend Star Trek conventions, or to dive into entirely new hobbies like scuba diving. And here's the thing. Even if your why is something that you've never done before, but have always dreamt about trying, we still want to plan for it and prioritize it. Because retirement shouldn't just be about what you're leaving behind, it should also be about what you're running towards. And that's why we build those dreams into the earliest phase of your retirement, when your energy is the highest and the opportunities are the richest. Now, step 4 is emotional readiness mapping. We help clients visualize their post-work life, identifying what brings meaning, joy, and structure. Whether it's mentoring, volunteering, or rediscovering hobbies, this step ensures that retirement doesn't feel like an end, but a beginning, a new chapter. We help quantify these goals so that your plan can help financially support them. Step 5 is strategic withdrawal optimization. So a little bit more technical. A lot of people assume that they have to wait until 59 and a half to access their retirement funds without a penalty, but that's not always the case. We help clients leverage lesser known strategies like the Rule of 55 and Section 72T flexibility to potentially access those retirement funds earlier without triggering a 10% withdrawal penalty. More importantly, we use this phase to create real tax efficiency. That means executing Roth conversions in, let's say, lower income years, potentially harvesting capital gains in a tax smart way, and avoiding or minimizing IRMA surcharges. Done right, retiring early can actually be more tax efficient than continuing to work because your income is more controllable. Step 6 is income confidence modeling. Finally, we don't want to just tell you you can retire. We want to model it. We want to run your plan through multiple stress-tested scenarios, meaning we need to plan for those worst-case run-ins, severe market downturns, inflation spikes, unexpected expenses. That way, you can see exactly how your plan holds up. For many of our high-performing clients, like our engineer clients, executives, doctors, and small business owners, we also model semi-retirement options as well. That might include what we call a phased retirement or part-time consulting. The reason is that these individuals are hardwired in a certain way, and it's not about going from 100 to 0. It's about creating space for purpose, stimulation, and ultimately freedom. This way, you maintain some income and structure without sacrificing the life that you've worked so hard to build. So if you're wondering how close you are to this kind of retirement, the kind that prioritizes your best years, don't just keep working one more year. You can schedule a discovery call using the link in the description, and we can show you exactly where you stand today and the best path forward toward a comfortable retirement. We'll walk you through your timeline, income, and retirement goals using our retirement planning profit process. So the biggest regret that I often hear, I wish I'd done it sooner. No one misses an extra spreadsheet, meeting, or email. They miss time, they miss moments. And so you want to ask yourself, are you chasing a number or chasing a life? Because the best years don't wait for permission. They wait for a plan. Thanks so much for watching and looking forward to seeing you in the next video.